What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed their week and is ready to conquer the week that is, man. Uh, and I hope everybody enjoyed the Thanksgiving as well, man. Just coming off Thanksgiving week, we are in the midst of the holiday season, man. You got Christmas and then New Year's, man. So not very much time left in this year, but man. Yeah, I just noticed when while I was prepping to record earlier that we're coming up on episode 300 of the Classic Chronicles, man. So tomorrow, as you're listening to this today's Monday. So as you're listening to this tomorrow, Tuesday, will be 300 episodes of the Classic Chronicles, and my God, I've enjoyed recording every single one of them. Whether it's a movie review or a life story. I'm just thankful for it all. Um, and like I'll talk more about what we may possibly be doing with the future of the Classic Chronicles and all that stuff and all that stuff. So definitely check it out tomorrow if you guys want to know what I have in store coming in for the new year. But for right now, we're gonna talk about WWE Survivor Series. So the 37th annual Survivor Series went down this past Saturday from Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. Uh, and man, so this is the second Survivor Series to feature the War Games format. Of course, the first being last year, 2022, and before that, it was always an NXT thing. So definitely, it's gonna be in the WWE going forward on the main roster at every Survivor Series. Hopefully, going forward. But hey, let's just talk about it. Let's break it down because there is a lot to unpack, and I mean a lot to unpack with the Survivor Series, man. So let's just kick it off. So in the opening contest, you had the women's War Games match featuring uh, Team Becky Lynch, which was Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Shotzi, uh, and Bianca Belair, taking on and oh no, and Charlotte too, Charlotte Flair too. I'm sorry, taking on Damage Control, which was Asuka, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Bailey. So these women kicked it off, and it was a great matchup. Io Sky, the current WWE Women's Champion over on SmackDown, man. She just did some incredible things. Like she did a dive with with a garbage can on her head, and just took out Becky Lynch's team. That was a pretty cool spot to see, man. And of course, she had kendo sticks and tables and all kinds of chaos and mayhem. So the ladies did their thing with in the end. Team Becky picking up the win over Team Damage Control with a manhandle slam through a table, and Becky pinning Bailey for the 1, 2, 3 on the women's side of things. Next up was a matchup that I thought was going to be a very good matchup. It was the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Miz looking to become a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, and facing the current Intercontinental Champion Gunther, who has an over 500-day reign as Intercontinental Champion. So he is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, I believe. And these two had a great match. On paper, the Miz has been in this game 20 years, man, and just constantly continues to reinvent himself and constantly continues to defy, management saying and the guys in the locker room saying that he was never going to make it. He's never going to be the superstar that he became, and Miz has just continued to prove him wrong, and I believe he is still criminally underrated. Two-time Grand Slam champion, meaning he won every single title in WWE that WWE has to offer at least twice, and he is just anything that you need the Miz to do, he will do it. Like if you need him to go do media, he's there. If you need him to wrestle somebody for somebody that's injured on a house show, he's there. So he's just doing everything that he's asked to do and more. And as for Gunther, or Walter, as I still like to call him, he is probably one of the most dominant wrestlers I've seen in a long time, as far as big man. And then for a man his size, he's about 260 now. He was about 300 pounds when he first came into WWE a couple of years ago, but he has undergone an incredible body transformation, and his in ring performance is great. Even when he was a 300 pounder, but now it's even better. With a lot of weight off him, he's able to be more agile, and it's great to see. So so those two went at it. It was a great Intercontinental Championship match, and ultimately Gunther picked up the win, and he will continue his record-breaking Intercontinental Championship reign. But like I said, much respect to the Miz, man. Nothing to hang his head about, and hopefully he gets it another shot at it in the future. Because I definitely enjoy watching them two tangle in there. Next up, this was a match that was a little bit underwhelming, and not because of the performers, but because I feel they didn't get enough time. And I'm talking about Dragon Lee taking on Santos Escobar. Now, there's a really, really big story here. So basically, Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio reformed the LWO, which was a popular WCW faction in the 90s, then led by Eddie Guerrero, but they brought it back and they reformed it in 2023. And you can kind of see the seeds of Santos Escobar performing a heel turn. When Rey Mysterio won the United States Championship, because it was originally supposed to be Santos Escobar in that match, and then the seeds were planted from there, and you knew a heel turn for Santos Escobar was gonna happen, but you didn't know when. And it all started to unravel in the weeks after, where Santos Escobar just got tired of things, and he just turned his back on Rey Mysterio, putting him out of action on TV. But in reality, Rey Mysterio is out of action right now because he had to have knee surgery. So Rey will be out for a minute, and they used that angle of his real life knee problems to cover up for why he's off television. And for that, the returning Carlito stepped in. Carlito returned not too long ago, and he was supposed to step in to take on Santos Escobar, but apparently Carlito got written off TV with an injury angle on the Survivor Series before SmackDown. The SmackDown before Survivor Series, I should say, excuse me. And Dragon Lee stepped up to take Carlito's place in the bout against Santos Escobar. And like I said, this match was good for what it was, but I sincerely hope that they keep this Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar feud going, and I hope they're given ample time to show what kind of performers they really are, because they are both phenomenal lucha libre wrestlers, which are wrestlers out of Mexico. So they are phenomenal in that style, and I sincerely hope that they keep the feud going, and they're given ample time to do what they do. Because if they are given maybe, let's say, 15-20 minutes to really get going and start cooking and put a great match together, It is gonna, if you watch it, it's gonna be a hell of a show stealer. But like I said, for what it was a great match, and hopefully we get some more of Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar. Uh, Next up was the WWE Women's World Championship being defended as Zoe Stark looked to take the championship from the ever so dominant Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day, Mommy. Um, so yeah, um, Zoe Stark brought it, and she will be women's champion one day, but it wasn't her time, man. Rhea Ripley is still on top. And what I liked about this match was there was no interference. It was just straight up, and these two women brought it. Essentially, with Rhea Ripley picking up the win off a Riptide, which is her signature move. And she still continues to remain a dominant women's champion. I don't know if there's anybody that can possibly stop her. Maybe Jade Cargill coming in, that would be a really interesting matchup to see. But then, just Jade Cargill coming in the WWE as a whole from AEW, and all the women that she gets to mix it up with in WWE is gonna be cool. Cool to see. So we'll have to see where Jade Cargill fits in this whole, in whatever women's title situation she's put in, whether it be on Raw or SmackDown. We'll just have to see where that goes. But in the main event, this was the main event. It is the men's War Games match. It was Team Cody consisting of Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Sami Zayn, main event Jey Uso, and the returning Randy Orton. Randy Orton had been on the shelf for about a year and a half with a severe back injury. He had to undergo double back fusion surgery, and he was out for a year and a half. And the injury angle that they used was that Jey Uso, Jey and Jimmy and Roman, who made up, and Sami, who were in the bloodline at the time, Sami Zayn, who were at the bloodline at the time, took out Randy and all of that, and that kind of played into last night's War Games match where Randy obviously came out at the very end, and was destroying Judgment Day, and looked at Jey Uso and said, at one point, and said, "Hey, your boys did this," essentially teasing a feud between Randy Orton and Jey Uso at some point down the line, and we'll just have to see where that goes, man. But hell of a War Games match. Randy Orton applied a very, very cool RKO off the when Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn kind of fed JD McDonough to Randy Orton, and then Cody hit a crossroads, and which is his signature move, and then the team of Sami, Jay, Cody, Randy, and Seth got the win. But yeah, so but let's obviously it was great to see Randy Orton return, but it was overshadowed by something that professional wrestling fans thought would never happen, considering what the events that took place after it and what led up to it. And of course, I'm talking about the return of CM Punk to the WWE. So after as Cody and his boys are celebrating in the ring, CM Punk's music hits, crowd goes nuts. Of course, it's Chicago, perfect time to bring back CM Punk. But my thoughts, I don't know. I have reservations about it, considering the whole CM Punk incident with AEW, and how he left the WWE, and how he's going to be perceived when he's back there. Who's going to work with him, who's not going to work with him. It's going to be very, very intriguing to see how the return of CM Punk plays into the plans that that were already put in place. You know, the storyline with Cody and Roman and all of that. So now the return of CM Punk puts a wrinkle in that whole thing, and then it'll be very interesting to see where things go. And then of course, like I said, you got Randy Orton back in the mix. So where does he fit in? You know, so it's a great time to be a wrestling fan, as it has been for the last couple of years, man. I'm just excited to see where it all goes, and tonight on Raw, I guess we will find out more. And man, I'm just looking forward to everything, man. And I will be at the SmackDown this Friday night in Brooklyn on December 1st, man. So I'm really excited for that. And more excited for the Madison Square Garden house show on the December 26th. On December 26th, which is a Raw branded house show, which as of right now, it looks like Randy Orton and CM Punk will be Raw superstars. So we'll just have to see where all of that goes. And man, I've said this on past vlogs when I talked about past Survivor Series, but Survivor Series is my absolute favorite pay per view. One of my absolute favorite pay per views, and it's a I enjoy it every year, and it tends to deliver. And this one was no different. This was a great Survivor Series. Lots of surprises, obviously, but yeah, I just enjoyed it all. It was a great show, top to bottom. So yeah, that is gonna do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.